What is up, Geeks and Geekettes? It's another episode of the Countdown to the Geekcast, and this is going to be one to remember because we're going to be recapping the part one, I guess we'll call it, or the Hall of Heroes of the first ever DC FanDome. My name is Steady. With me on this episode is the man, the myth, the legend, you know him as JC.
Hey, everybody.
And newest member to the Geekcast, the one and only Joe Garcia.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Excited to talk about this DC FanDome.
Quite a day.
Holy crap. I'm exhausted from the emotional roller coaster that was this entire event. It started off with a bang with Wonder Woman, and I feel like it ended on a high, and it was sustaining the same level of hype and energy through Suicide Squad, Black Adam, The Flash, the Snyder Cut. I mean, there was so many great panels, so many big reveals, and I just can't wait to talk about it. We're gonna have to talk about the final panel first, though, the Batman. And Matt Reeves was extremely passionate, very detailed, very thorough in his explanation and the psyche of Robert Pattinson's Bruce Wayne character. But that trailer was something else. I think he actually has a little bit of explaining to do because he earlier in the panel he had stated he only recorded about 25% of the movie. That seemed like a lot more than 25% in the trailer. I know they film movies, in different sections. It's not all linear, but it just seemed like he had so much of the story within that trailer. I don't know what to say all about it. I don't know what to say. I don't know where to start with the trailer. So I'm gonna ask you, gentlemen, first. JC, you saw the Batman trailer. What was the one thing that stuck out to you the most, or what was your favorite part of it?
Stuck out is that's tough. It seems like Batman's just psychologically drained. Something's going on. That's the kind of the hint I get out of it. But it's just that he's just whatever it is that the Riddler's doing. It's draining him. His mind is just warped. He's exhausted. That's the look I get from it. The action though, that little one sequence was insane. So a close quarter combat, which is always fun.
Yeah.
So.
I liked it. Joe, same question. What stuck out to you the most? What was your favorite part of the entire trailer?
Just the feel of the entire trailer. I guess what they were going for is they want to make it real gritty, and they want to show you that this is different from the other Batman movies by setting the tone, even with just the atmosphere, with the logo, that red. They keep showing you red and black over and over again. Red and black, red and black, red and black.
Yeah.
And not only that, but when you're coming into that opening scene from the trailer, they set the tone with that heavy, grungy style music being played in the background to where it makes you feel like the whole trailer has this heavy feeling to it, So it's going to be a different type of Batman right out of the gate, they're trying to set you up for that. And I like the cast of characters, the way that they cast this movie as far as the supporting characters, Batman himself, I don't know, man. I'm still on the fence with Robert Pattinson, but just from the trailer, it looks like he's going to be doing a decent enough job. It's got my interest, but I still need to see a little bit more before I fully commit.
I fully committed before this trailer came out, before FanDome. As soon as we heard Robert Pattinson was coming on as Bruce Wayne, I was all in. And the reason why I was all in is because of a movie we talked about in the past called Good Time. And Good Time had put Robert Pattinson in this completely different role that I had never seen him in. And to me, I was just like, this guy can do anything. And this trailer just is another piece of evidence to just prove that theory is true. He is a force to be reckoned with in this trailer, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I like how Matt Reeves was explaining that this is year two, which is great because it seems like He's got his feet under him a little bit, and now he's just trying to be more efficient at what he does. We got all of the building, his gadgets or the Batmobile or all of that's out of the way. He's already, committed to this role. He's already committed to this plan and fighting crime, and now we're just seeing him, going through and being more effective and being more efficient. JC, you and I have talked about the suit a lot that he wears, and I always said that it seems like the suit itself is going to be evolving or making or going through iterations within the film. I don't know if that's going to happen exactly how I said it was going to go, but Matt Reeves in the panel also said the suit, he built it himself. It's always evolving. So it seems
Yeah.
like this is going to be a different Batman in the sense that we are seeing him get better at things, not just here's my suit, I'm going to wear it for for a few years, here's my car, I'm going to drive it around forever, all that kind of
Yeah.
thing. I'm excited. It seems like the Riddler might be our number one big bad. He seems to be tormenting Bruce Wayne a lot. I have questions
Yeah.
about who that voice is at the end of the trailer as well. But my biggest question coming out of all this greatness and epicness that was that trailer is, did you guys catch the sort of heavyset individual in the trailer? And did you know that that is Oswald Cobblepot played by Colin Farrell?
I saw someone that looked like Oswald. Like, okay, that could be Penguin. Did not realize it was Colin Farrell. Great makeup job. Yeah,
It
Holy
was a
crap.
complete
great make.
transformation. It was really well done.
Yeah,
Couldn't even recognize the guy.
it
Dude,
is
freaked me out when somebody pointed that out. I'm like, that can't be, cannot be. But
crazy.
no, totally is. And Colin, fantastic actor. Can't wait to see what he does with the role. Jim Gordon, we got a little bit of Jim Gordon. That relationship is already well established, as we can tell. They're already sort of passing information back and forth, working with one another. So that's exciting.
And not only
There's
that,
none
but
of
can
that.
we add that Jim Gordon's going to be a man of color this time?
Oh yeah, that we've already
Yeah,
talked. That's already been discussed. I guess when that announcement came out, and I guess some people had some slight issues with it. To me, doesn't matter.
no, it
Um,
shouldn't.
the actor's
No.
phenomenal. He's also
Oh yeah,
from, oh gosh, Westworld.
yeah. He also
He's
came out in
killer.
Hunger Games as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was
that's
in Hunger
right.
Yeah.
Games. Yep.
That's right.
Hmm.
We finally got our first look at Selena Kyle, not yet Catwoman, according to Matt Reeves, but we did get a glimpse of Selena Kyle. And apparently, in the very beginning, glasses, tape around his head is some fans are speculating that is already the Riddler, sort of his first coming out as a criminal. So he as well is probably going to go through a lot of changes. He's not just going to wake up one day, make a Riddler suit, and then start parading around Gotham, tricking people and dropping riddles. Um, JC, you talked about the fight sequence earlier. What kind of sticks out to you the most about that quick little hand-to-hand combat? What is it that you like, and how do you compare it to the fighting styles of previous Batman? Better, worse, about the same?
The biggest comparison is that if everyone was bitching that Batman killed people in next Snyder's movies, it's going to be a whole different world in this one. Because that was brutal.
That guy
He had
died.
him down. Yeah, that guy, he did. So
He's at least got brain damage. That dude's
this
a
isn't,
vegetable.
the name of the game in this feels, it's like everything is evolving. Batman's suit will evolve. The car probably will evolve as this movie goes on. Catwoman will evolve, or Selena Kyle will evolve into Catwoman. The Riddler you mentioned. So, uh, Batman in this sense is he's very violent, very brutal. He's hell bent on vengeance. How that relates to his parents, I would guess. As someone speculated that the Batman symbol on his suit is the gun that killed his parents. So How that comes into play, he's hell bent on violence. This is a very darker, much darker storyline. And if you had an issue with Batman killing before, you just get used to it because it feels like there's gonna be a lot more of it in this movie.
Are we gonna get an R-rated Batman?
Oof.
There needs to be one because to this point, it's only happened in the animated films. So Batman's a lot darker character than people realize, I think.
Yeah, I'm hoping we get an R-rated Batman. To me, that's really the direction you need to go. Kind of like what Marvel did with Deadpool, only because of the gore factor, and the violence there. I think the same thing needs to be said.
And the cussing.
And the
And
cussing.
the language.
But I think
Yeah.
the same thing needs to happen with the Batman movie. We need to get one that's more geared towards the character that we see in the comic books, not made for the kids, but made for the adults.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, and we kind of got that a little bit with Ultimate Edition of Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, and it's a much better film. The things they cut out that made it R-rated actually made more sense in the story. So uh, I think it's at a point now where the rating isn't going to matter. It's going to sell. You tell a great story. It doesn't matter what the rating is, even if it's just violence.
Yeah, I'm
There
excited
you go.
about checking out more about this movie. I want to see what else they're doing with it. It was like he said, only 25% completed at this juncture, but they had enough material to make a trailer, so I think he was kind
Yeah.
of fibbing a little bit. It might have been a little bit
Oh yeah, I'm
longer,
sure.
a little bit longer along than he's letting on, but nonetheless, it looked great as far as the cinematography, the feel, as far as what they're looking for. So it's piqued my interest.
I think he said only 25% so he can get more money out of the studio for anything else he wants to do. That's probably a strategy
Need to
on his
increase
part.
that budget.
Yep.
Um, the only other thing that was talked about that wasn't part of the panel, well, actually, it was a little bit of part of the panel, the Gotham television series that's going to be a part of this specific Batman's universe. Will focus around the Gotham Police Department and will be set around the first year of Bruce Wayne crime fighting as a Dark Knight. So a little bit of more information regarding that television series, which will be released on the HBO Max streaming service. Not sure when, next year, probably the following, most likely. But that will be interesting. Why is it set in the first year of Batman's emergence in Gotham City? And how does a police department react when criminals are being beaten up and like presented and wrapped like a Christmas present to the police
Yeah.
department? That should be really interesting. And I don't know exactly if any of the characters are going to cross over between the film and the TV series, but if you're planning to cross these two worlds over this much, it has to be for some big reason, some big main point that ties into both of these projects. So I can't wait. I like Robert Pattinson as this Bruce Wayne. JC, you kind of mentioned earlier, he's in a really weird headspace. And what I had said earlier, he's a force to be reckoned with. He's not, it doesn't seem like he's doing a lot of uh, thinking or anything. He's just um, unstoppable, it seems like. And
Yeah.
that's what probably a Batman in his second year would feel like. Like nothing can stop him, like nothing's going to get in his way. He confronted a group of like 15, 16 individuals and beat up one guy and said, I'm vengeance, which is
Yeah.
absolutely killer.
Yeah, but you know what? Let's come
Um,
back to that scene though. He's beating on the
yeah,
guy. There's 15 or 16 other guys, right? In total, 16
yeah.
guys. He's beating on the one, and the other 15 are just
Yeah.
there sitting down watching. I'm like,
Yeah.
really?
Like, man, we didn't like that guy anyway. You can have him. Like, we didn't like him
They
anyway.
just
That's fine.
stood there and watched
Yeah.
their friend and watched their brother get beat down. I mean, come on, man. Somebody
The
jump in
rest of
there.
the rest of the scene goes like this. Who are you? I'm vengeance, and they just scatter like roaches in the light. They're not even gonna try and step up to him whatsoever. I
Yeah.
loved it. It was the perfect way to end DC FanDome. It was a perfect panel to end this entire incredible day with. Absolutely loved it. I even liked his voice. His voice is very familiar. It sounds like a Batman voice, not a Christian Bale, like too much gargling, too much uh,
Oh,
raspiness in
come
it.
on. I like that voice.
It was a joke. It was a joke,
It
and
became a joke of the
it became a
trilogy.
joke.
I mean, you figure with the technology he had, if he'd have added like a voice changer a la Ben Affleck's Batman, that would have made more sense. But yeah,
There
so
you go.
mhm,
It was just over the top.
It's
That's
so
what it
good.
was.
probably.
That's
But yeah.
exactly what it is. Oh man. Uh cannot wait to see more of the Batman. It's it's crazy that even with all the leaks from the set to the videos and all that, this has completely turned anything negative or about the criticisms about the project, turned everything, I think, in my opinion, it's turned everything around. I like everything that they're doing with it. The suit looks better in motion, going through the fight sequence when he's walking around scenes. The suit is really, really good, and now it's starting to feel great to me. It feels like this is an actual Batman suit. It's very close to like an Arkham series suit from one of the games. So even the suit, I think, is looking even better on film or going through these scenes than before. I wish they had just thrown the white eyes in. I thought that was going to be something they were going to do. Maybe it's something
Nah.
they do later on in the film, but one can hope one day we'll just get a suit where they just do the white eyes and say, "Hey, forget it. That's just what it is." Let's talk about the other projects, the other panels earlier from the day. The Suicide Squad game, Kill the Justice League. What a trailer! Absolutely
I
hysterical.
missed that trailer. I need to see it.
I
But
missed it too. I'm not
No,
gonna lie. I missed it
dude,
too.
you have no idea how much I had going on today. So sorry if I
I
missed
you
one thing.
told us. You told us.
Yes.
He was busy with kids, and I was kind of busy with my kids as well, cause getting some last minute stuff for school. Had to do a quick run.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all
Yeah.
good.
I will see it though.
It's it looks great. I believe this is also going to be a co-op game, much like the Gotham Knights trailer that we got earlier in the day. At least I hope it is. But I like the setting. Brainiac has invaded Earth, and I think it's Metropolis where they were at. Was it Metropolis? Might have been Metropolis. Brainiac is invaded, and it pretty much looks like the scene from Avengers 1 when the portal opens up and just the aliens start spewing out. Kind of has that kind of a feel. But instead of like the Avengers battling everybody, the Suicide Squad's taking their absolute sweet time, chilling, looking for something to eat, while Amanda Waller's just threatening to kill them all unless they get off their ass and actually do something. So, hysterical trailer and even better when we get that little twist at the end. Uh, Superman shows up, and for those of you who watched it, you know what happens. And I think we can all figure out exactly what's going on at this point.
Okay.
JC's gonna put it up right now because
I
now
have
he's
to
so
look it up
intrigued.
now. Yeah. So Suicide Squad game.
Oh man, let's go to Black Adam. Not a lot of obviously no footage. They haven't started filming yet. But I
It's
was
really
talking
just
to
stills,
Joe
right? Or like with the
about this
suit, right?
earlier. Yeah,
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
lot
Yeah.
of concept art, a lot of the story, and just a lot of Dwayne Johnson smiling ear to ear because he is so excited for this project, and I don't blame him at all.
But we had
Joe,
some.
any?
We had the reveals, is what I was gonna tell you.
Yeah,
Ted.
go for it.
Some of the other characters, as you had mentioned too. They had
That's right.
Hawkman, and they had Atom Smasher, Justice Society. And I like
Doctor
listening to.
Fate and Cyclone
Yeah, yeah,
as well.
yeah. And then
Yeah.
one
You guys talk. I'm gonna watch this trailer. Go
And
ahead.
the
Don't
one
mind
thing
me.
that I
So.
did like too is just hearing hearing The Rock talk about Black Adam and kind of the various directions that they're gonna go with this particular film. It seems like they've gotten this one correct. As far as the casting goes, because as Dwayne The Rock Johnson was saying, this has kind of been a labor of love project for him. He's been avidly wanting to play Black Adam for some time, and officially now it's happening. So I think
Oh yeah.
if he's been, you know, asking to play this character for quite some time, and he's actually getting the chance, he's just going to be that much more enthusiastic, getting into that role. And I think it's going to translate to the other cast members as well, bringing it. So I have high hopes for this particular film.
You know, the one thing that this entire event did so well was build up the anticipation and build up the excitement. And this Black Adam panel, even though it had no footage, no clips, anything like that from the film, it starts off with, The Rock just doing a voiceover. It ends with Dwayne Johnson pretty much threatening the Justice League. Like, how do you how do you not get excited about just all this build up and anticipation for something that's years away? Just bravo. I don't know if it's Warner Brothers decided to hire somebody new in the marketing team, or if it's just AT&T completely taking over and showing them how to put on a virtual event. Black Adam panel was one of the best cases of how to do a presentation right and how to get a fan base excited for a project. You had nothing to show. You had concept art. You talked about the character reveals, which is all very exciting. But compared to all the other projects that had trailers, that had clips, that had the entire cast already assembled, this had none of that, and yet it still was incredible to watch. And it's pretty much just, like I said, Dwayne Johnson talking about how passionate he is about the project, but everybody's on board. I cannot wait. This is going to be an exciting film, and it's years away. And if you asked me if this is going to be on the same level or below other movies like The Flash or The Batman, I would tell you this is on the same level. Everything I completely bought into. He said it's going to be huge. He said this film is going to be a game changer, and I don't deny. I don't have any doubts whatsoever. I'm completely on board with this film. I thought he was an interesting choice to play Black Adam. I know it's mostly because of his size, but I'm all in. I think he's gonna kill it, and I can't wait to see what this movie looks like.
Yeah, you had brought up one thing in particular that they had no footage. Really, they were just talking about concepts, moving forward, storyline, things of that nature. They had one
Yeah.
of the other actors in there who's going to be playing Atom Smasher. He was there as part
Yeah.
of the panel as well.
Yeah.
But I attribute this presentation being so good. I attribute that to the Rock's current manager, his ex-wife, Danny
That's
Garcia.
right.
She's the mogul behind the Rock, and she's in charge of his media empire. So she's done a great job at procuring everything that they do to the highest level, and I think this is just a testament to the genius that is Danny Garcia at play for everybody to kind of see what's going on behind the scenes. So you know you gotta tip your hat to what she's been able to do, because I mean there was all these other panels, but this one was one
Oh
of the
yeah.
ones that was done really well. So kudos to them.
Yeah. It's phenomenal. JC has a big smirk on his face. What'd you
Hmm.
think of the trailer for the Suicide Squad game?
Hilarious. It's gonna be fun, but Superman killing. I don't know what's going on with that. That looks so much fun. So
You
you
could
know,
tell though.
yeah, you could tell
All right,
possessed and everything. So, but yeah,
there you
that's gonna
go.
be hilarious. That's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to play that cast of characters, and it's gonna be okay to kill and be brutal with everything if it's the same.
Right?
If it's the same Arkham series engine, that's gonna be a blast. Yeah.
One quick call out that another reveal that happened today. Titans season 3. The cast is getting a little bit bigger. Um, Jason Todd is going to grow up a little bit, and they're going to start leading into the Red Hood storyline, which is amazing. We're also going to get Barbara Gordon, and apparently Scarecrow is also joining in the mix. So Titan season 3. Let's hope that the story is good from start to finish. Last season there was a couple of road bumps, a couple of bumps in the road that we had talked about
Yeah.
previously on our season 2 review. I just wanted to be a solid story from start to finish. You have a great cast, you have great outfits, you have great choreography. Just, you know, just support it with a solid storyline. That's all you really need, and Titans will
Yeah.
be just as incredible and reach its full potential.
The Jason
The
Todd thing is
Snyder.
interesting on that. So I hate to interrupt you, but
No, go for it.
I mean, I've wondered when they're going to get to the point where he dies, but now they're jumping straight into Red Hood. So it's uh, that's interesting. I don't know if they're going to pull a whole different take on this. So you
Could
know,
be,
huh?
could definitely be that they're going to sort of bypass that entire storyline. Because if you
Yeah,
want to go by the comics, you're going to have to introduce a slew of other characters, which they don't have right now. So if they wanted to, could totally pull it off, and if they wanted to, you could totally explain it by just saying one word: multiverse.
multiverse. Yeah,
And this is the story of this Earth and how these Titans go and come across this form of Red Hood. So yeah, could totally happen.
and well, they introduced the third Robin too. If they move straight into the Red Hood
Hmm.
storyline, that's the
Yay!
interesting. So
Interesting. Interesting.
yeah,
Yep, I'm excited. And if you introduce Barbara Gordon, will they decide to bring out or just label a Jim Gordon? And which Jim Gordon will we get? Will we get DCEU Jim Gordon? Will we get Robert Pattinson universe Jim Gordon? I mean, who knows? Maybe they won't even bother with it.
drunken Jim Gordon from the Harley Quinn series. That'd be great.
That's the best one, isn't it?
That's hilarious.
That whole Harley Quinn
Um,
animated series is
oh God, I love it.
hilarious, man.
Yeah.
It's
Can't watch it with the
incredible.
kids though, unless they're teens,
Nope,
No,
not
we,
at
we haven't
all.
even talked. We haven't even talked about season 2 on this, and I think we
Yeah.
need to. And that's another mature audience only episode. So,
Definitely, man.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
But I thought it was really well done, even in season one.
Oh yeah,
It was hilarious. They made Bane the joke of everything. Shut up, Bane.
yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, he's a complete tool in that
Yeah.
animated series, but it's hilarious. We briefly talked about the Snyder Cut trailer earlier. I don't know if there's any more to add to it. Just the tone
Other than it
is
was epic.
absolutely epic. We got some better villains, more villains coming out
We
in
got
this
a
Yep.
dark
trailer.
side reveal. We got a little sneak peek at that.
Oh yeah,
Part of me was hoping they would have saved the dark side reveal for the movie, but whatever comes with it is fine. One telling point is, the Steppenwolf reveal.
Yeah.
He appears the same way he did in the theatrical release, and now you're going to compare and contrast that reveal to how he looks now, how the special effects should have been, and that should tell you everything you need to know about this movie.
right.
It's just completely different. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna have a
Yeah,
completely different feel. And the one thing that I had talked with you, JC, and with Ted as well, one of the things that I really did like is the way that they were showing some of these added scenes with, the Flash. So
Yeah.
to me, that was a big increase in screen time compared to what he had, in the Justice League movie, which was here or there. It was just very faint, but seeing more added scenes and seeing his story be told a little bit more, and even the little glimpse that me and Ted were talking about of the Speed Force, and you see Barry Allen like, whoa, what is this? That's what
yeah.
fans are getting excited about.
Yeah.
I took a second look at one of the scenes, and I'm not sure if I confused it with the Speed Force or not. But there's a scene where he's like looking up and around him, and it seemed like it was because of the Speed Force, but also when I looked a little closer, it was a part of an explosion, and he was not affected by it, either because a this is some type of hallucination, some type of um, fortune seeing or something like that, or he was actually vibrating through the the ripples of the explosion itself and wasn't being impacted or affected by it. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering what this explosion is. Maybe he's looking at the end result of the mother boxes changing the surface of the earth or whatever they're trying to do in the first one and the
Yeah.
theatrical release. who knows what they're trying to do in this one. But yeah, we talked about it earlier. So much different content, so much um, so much variety or just variances in the scenes. This looks like a complete different story,
Yeah, it's a
and
completely
I'm
different
excited.
movie. It's a completely different
Yeah.
movie. It's like
Yeah,
that other one didn't
if you
even
had
occur.
no idea, now you know.
We'll act
Yeah.
like the theatrical release never occurred. That was like,
What
That's
theatrical release?
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, what is that? It was a knockoff like you see at Redbox. Instead of Transformers, it was like Transmorphers or something that you rent for $1. That's what
Yeah,
that was.
Yeah.
yeah, man. I'm excited. A lot of big reveals. Silas Stone not making it to the end of the film, or again another
Is it
hallucination
a
or
dream?
something.
Yeah.
Is it a dream? That could be totally it. Um, it's gonna be so great, and it's all because of the fans. It's all because the fans demanded it. It's all because nobody ever gave up. Zack Snyder never gave up. Um, Ray Fisher never gave up, and other cast members, joined in the cause. And here we are. We got a trailer finally
Yeah.
after all this time.
You have
Most
to credit
definitely.
Zack Snyder for this too, because most directors could easily have just said when DC said they were done with it, he's like, all right, screw you, f you, whatever. But he stuck with it. He kept laid it out there. This deserves to be seen. I have the cut done, and he kept pushing for it too. And that really helped build the fan interest up, and that kind of forced the hand. So,
Yeah.
but
Kudos to the fans for
Vindicated.
demanding that they have this
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
released.
and thank
Oh
you for
yeah.
HBO Max. It's like, well, we got to sell more subscriptions. This is one way to do it.
Yeah.
So,
I guarantee you that when that release comes out, they'll probably have more subscriptions to HBO Max than they do on Disney Plus or
oh yeah.
Netflix, at least for that 1 week, for the
Oh, I'm
premiere.
sure. I
Sure.
mean, people subscribe to Disney Plus for The Mandalorian, and that drove it too. So,
Yeah, it'd be
but
interesting to
yeah.
see now that the Mandalorian, as soon as that series had ended, what was the decline in subscriptions
Oh,
coming
I'm
off?
sure. I saw one person post, "Other, why are you canceling?" And they said, "The Mandalorian season's over. This is the way." That's what they put in the comments. So,
This is the way.
yeah,
Why else are you gonna
this,
keep it when the
yeah,
the
exactly.
library's kind of not, it doesn't have a lot to choose from. And then they have this
Yeah,
ridiculous things coming out where you're paying for the subscription and now you have to pay extra for now a premiere that they're gonna kind of unveil on Disney
yeah.
Plus only. They should unveil it everywhere at the same time, make more money, but this is neither here nor there. This is not a
That's
Marvel
that's a
show.
discussion for
Yeah.
another day. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So,
just
yeah.
ridiculous, man, to me.
You know what's great to think about, getting back to the Snyder Cut? There's so much time in between now and its release. If HBO, Warner Media, or AT&T was really excited about this release, they would actually, for like one weekend only, that's all we need, one weekend only, or even just one night only. No, one night's too much. One weekend only, have a theatrical release of Zack Snyder's Justice League, and you don't have to do it all in one sitting. Let's call it uh, two and two with an
I'm gonna call
intermission in
out your nerd card
between.
if you don't watch it all in one sitting. If it's available all
Hell
in
yeah,
one sitting,
man.
man.
I'm totally down, but I am not gonna try and put too many people on that. So maybe one night only, 7 to 11, in every, one theater or two theaters in every major city across the U.S. It would sell out. Everybody
Yes.
knows, yeah, it would totally sell out. And I don't know how much money that would be for, one night. You probably have to charge a little bit more money for a ticket because you are taking up essentially two whole movie times for
Yeah.
some of these theaters, but it would totally
They
work.
can take my money now, man. I'll
AT&T,
prepay for that.
Warner Brothers,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'll
I
pay for
would
the kids to go too at this point.
I
Yeah.
would totally do it.
Yeah.
Put something before the film with Zack Snyder coming out, giving his
Oh
appreciation for the
man,
fans. Put an end
Yeah.
credit scene at
yeah.
the end of the film,
Have a Q and
leading
A before
into,
the film even starts with him answering some fan questions. I'm up for that.
yeah,
Yeah.
capabilities of theaters across the country. That would be the only thing to kind of figure out. But have at least a one night only theatrical release. IMAX, just make it an IMAX release, please. Make it an IMAX release
I'll be there
for
for the 4 hours to
Snyder
watch
Cut.
it, but I can't promise that I'll be sober at the end of 4 hours.
Hey,
There you
considering
go.
what we're dealing with, I'll be happy with a drive-in movie for it too. So just
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
anything, right?
Mhm.
You can take your booze,
Uh,
but how are you gonna Uber home?
Well,
Self-driving car.
yeah, right.
oh man, we talked in our preview episode about DC FanDome, and I said I was the most excited for the Suicide Squad panel.
Yeah.
And if you watched it, you completely understand why. There is nothing half-ass about that movie.
Nope.
James Gunn, who is an absolute madman when it comes to writing and directing, is going all out. If you're watching that behind the scenes footage for the making of the Suicide Squad, how big were those sets? How big were the
The explosions,
explosions?
man. He said,
Yeah.
The yeah, he said in the panel, this is the biggest special effects production he's ever done, and this is the guy who did two Guardians of the Galaxy films. Like, are you
Yeah.
kidding me with this right now?
he said
And he also
specifically,
said
you
he had
put
the
them all
most fun
together.
ever.
Yeah. He said, you
Yeah.
put them all together, there's as much explosions in this one movie as there were in all those other Marvel movies put together. So I'm like, damn, I can't wait to see this, man.
I talked earlier about Dwayne Johnson and how passionate he was about his project and how passionate he was talking about it. James Gunn, the exact same. He didn't undersell anything. He talked about how much he loved writing the Harley Quinn character. He talked about how much he had more fun on this movie than any other film. James Gunn said that, and he's the creator of Baby Groot, for crying out loud. So it's like this means a lot. This movie has dozens of characters in it, and they all said they were having a blast too. And you could tell if you're
Yeah.
watching the panel, they were having absolute
I
fun.
attribute that to James
Anything that
Gunn's energy. You know, his energy is
there
way
you
up
go.
there,
Yeah.
and the way he's able to communicate and talk with people, he just seems like a really fun guy to work with because he's very
Yeah,
animated, he's very energetic, and that just makes you want to go out there and perform that much more. And it lightens the mood all around to where it doesn't even feel like these guys were actually working. They were just out there having fun, you know, watching stuff get blown
Yeah.
up.
JC, your biggest takeaway from the Suicide Squad panel?
You said it. Everyone looks like they're having fun. I didn't see the whole panel, but I saw that little sneak behind the scenes sneak peek thing, showing some behind the scenes footage and talking with the actors. You see James Gunn's passion. You see how much the actors want to work for him, why they want this to succeed. And I think back to when he got fired from Marvel for an old tweet, and everybody that was on that cast, Dave Bautista was very outspoken that he wouldn't do another movie unless he was there. So it says a lot about him as a director when people that have worked for him want him back and said he's the only guy that can do it. So
Yeah,
uh, he's the most demanding, pretty much the most demanded director in comic Hollywood right now, it seems like. So this is a real passion project for him, in much the same way this whole Batman, Superman, Justice League adventure has been a passion project for Zack Snyder as well. So, and you got to love the excitement.
Yep.
same question, Joe. What's the biggest takeaway from that panel for you?
The biggest takeaway from that whole panel is just the camaraderie that all these actors have. And just
Yeah,
everybody just loves each other. Everybody's just out there having fun, respects the heck out of one another. You know, so that's always going to be fun when you have that much mutual admiration for your coworkers, for one. And
oh, for
then
sure.
the next thing that really stood out at me was the cast itself. You know, this is a lot of superheroes or villains, should I say,
There
in
you
one
go.
movie. You know, and they have a bunch of people in here, and you know they're the lesser known maybe villains. You know, but everybody's together. Everybody has these great personalities. You know, you had King Shark, Polka Dot Man, you know, Ratcatcher. I'm just like,
Who
oh
is John
god,
Cena playing? I was
oh
dying when John.
god, what was that
You
guy's
need me to
name?
play you played a douchey Captain America. Done. I got it. That was
Done.
sweet.
Got it.
Yes.
Done. He just said, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and play
Yeah.
that. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it just the cast is just amazing. it just looks like this movie is just gonna be a really fun movie to watch with a lot of violence and a lot of explosions. What's not to love about this film?
There you go.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what they're up against. My biggest takeaway was it seemed like they were in sort of some remote jungle slash other country,
Yeah.
perhaps going up against some sort of military faction or
South
something
America, maybe
along those
somewhere,
lines.
like in the
Yeah,
Amazon or something. Yeah. So,
and one
yeah.
of my biggest criticisms to the first one was that our villain was sort of too much out of their league, or was too far outside the. I don't know. It just felt like it was too much, too far out of left field. Ground the story a little bit by having them go up against someone who's either not superpowered or not dabbling in the supernatural. Another military faction, some other foreign enemy, something along those lines, something that is sort of on their level, if you will, because we're dealing
Yeah.
with a lot of B and C level villains who don't have that much firepower or that much strength to begin with. So, scaling it down a bit, getting more into a more interesting scenario with somebody else on their level is what I wanted to see, and it kind of looks like it. I'm not going to say for sure that it is because we'll find out more later on, but it kind of has that feeling towards it's some sort of either guerrilla warfare or some type of like military style film with these wacky set of characters. So I'm looking forward to it a lot. Also because of the things that you guys said, and because James Gunn is just so over the moon about it. So I'm completely sold. I cannot wait for it. Um, the Flash panel. Biggest takeaway for me was that concept art that was released showing Barry Allen in a brand new suit, more along the style of the comics that we're used to. And behind him in one of the photos is Michael Keaton. Not Michael Keaton in his suit attire, Michael Keaton in the bat suit, the cape and cowl from the '89 film. If that is a scene in this movie, I don't care what happens before that scene. I don't care what happens after that scene. That scene is going to be the entire world to me, and I cannot wait to see that happen. Holy crap. Amazing. Do you guys get to catch the Flash panel at all?
I got glimpses of it here and there, but again, I got busy with these kids, man. So I was trying to listen to what they were saying. So I listened to
Yeah.
probably just about a minute or two in the beginning, and then I was on the road and I was trying to look down and see what was going on. As the wife was driving, I'm like,
Yeah.
hold up, let me try to see what's happening here. But it
Yeah.
was too much, man. These kids, dude.
I caught a picture of the concept art, and the fact that they showed him in that suit with Keaton Batman, '89 Batman, makes me wonder if that's a suit he brings from that Earth, or possibly, because I keep wanting it, a Grant Gustin Flash world, if he brings a suit from that Earth. So I'm wondering if he's able to develop the suit from something outside of his own world. Because up to this
Ooh.
point, the suit he has is something he's kind of haphazardly put together, what he's been able to steal, that sort of thing. But, maybe in another place where if the Flash has been around for a while, if he's able to develop a suit that's more advanced. And I'm wondering if he has to go somewhere else to get that. Yeah.
Something that you and I talked about a lot, and it was also conveyed in a discussion with Jim Lee, Walter Hamada, and not Mark Guggenheim. Who's the other guy? I'm not gonna remember.
Uh,
Um, was the fact that Ezra Miller, Barry Allen, does gain the Flash name
name.
from
Grant,
CW Barry
Grant
Allen.
Gustin. Yep.
So if they decide whether or not they decide to reiterate that in this movie or in another movie, I don't know exactly when that altercation takes place between the two Barrys. Either if it's before Justice League or after Justice League. I guess we'll find out when Justice League comes out, right? Because
Yeah.
this original footage may or may not have. It probably won't have that in there because they filmed Justice League before that, before the two of them met. But if they decided to, whether or not they decide to do that in a future film, it's confirmed. Like Ezra Miller Flash got the name Flash from the
From
television show Flash,
it
and
make
that's
it
just incredible.
it makes me wonder if in the TV show we saw how Grant Gustin Flash got to that point. So I wonder if the movie will see how Ezra Miller Flash got to that point, and they replay that whole scene, and then you see it from Ezra Miller's side of the story. You
Yeah.
know, that might be one possibility, but I hope there's a whole new scene on top of that, and yeah, I hope that's how he comes up with the name. Is just I don't know, it just came to me, that sort of thing.
We know Ben Affleck is going to be in this film. Some people are calling it his last hurrah, where he rides off into the sunset, portraying the Bruce Wayne role, the Batman role once more. However, I say never. You
No,
said Justice League wasn't going to get released as a Snyder Cut. You said Ben Affleck would never be back. You said Young Justice would never be back. All those things happened when people said it was never going to happen again. I'm going to say I hope Ben doesn't call quits after the Flash film. That somehow or another his Batman project still gets made, where it was more of a detective noir film based around Arkham, from what some people are reporting, and that the big bad was always going to be Deathstroke in that film. I think that would have been incredible. People tied to that project said the story was incredible, but Ben was not in the right place at that time. The only other thing I want to say about this Flash film is it would be epic and absolutely incredible if he runs into the 89 Batman, Michael Keaton's character, and the reason why they choose that Batman is because Barry perhaps alters something in that timeline. And when you start going down that rabbit hole, there's a whole number of things you could come up with. If you were to ask me what's the one thing he could really screw up where the fans would all say like, "Oh my god, we lost the Joker character in that universe."
huh?
Who's to say if like Barry happens to run into this timeline, this alternate Earth, and happens to change the events of that bell
Universe.
tower, and
Yeah.
somehow the events get changed where Joker never makes his plummet to his death, and the story goes on from there. But he sees the ramifications of him changing something like that, and figures out like this is some serious stuff time travel is, or it's a lot worse if I don't really pay attention to it. So if you're not going to give us the entire big Flashpoint graphic novel storyline, what is the other big thing you could do that would just freak out your entire audience? Well, it would be to change something in these other universes that we wouldn't expect. So if you ask me, what's like the biggest thing they could do with a story where Flash is screwing up the past? Bringing the Joker back would be the most epic thing I could think of. And the reason why Keaton's in this movie is because Flash is screwing up his universe, essentially. That would be the biggest, best thing you could possibly do. Do they have the balls to do it? I don't doubt it anymore. I think they're
Jack
not.
Nicholson. If they paid Jack Nicholson the right, hey, would you do a scene or two? He would. You know he would. You know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
It wouldn't even it wouldn't I wouldn't even need to see him too much.
no.
But just like
Just the
JJ
voice.
Abrams decided, either that or just the fact that like JJ Abrams, when he redid the entire Star Trek franchise, decided to rewrite history. That's a bold, ballsy, gutsy move to rewrite the entire Star Trek universe
Yeah.
and replay it
But he did
differently.
it. But he did it in such a way that the TV show and everything before that still existed, and that was where the smart went. part of it was that he did that.
So if you did something to where Barry changed the events of that night to where Joker doesn't fall to his death, but perhaps he keeps skipping through time, runs into Keaton when Bruce is in his 50s, late, early 60s, and he's seeing how shitty Gotham is now because of that, because he's changing that moment in time. That would be incredible. I'm getting way too specific, and if I was right, I would win the lottery. Like, honestly, but it's interesting that they chose Keaton. You could have chose any Batman. Ben would have done it. He's still in it.
Yeah.
So the fact that you decided to go into an alternate Earth means you had an idea, and I hope that idea is you're investing in an idea, which means you're gonna change the past of that universe, and that's the flashpoint that we're gonna get.
Yeah,
man, I had this epiphany like yesterday, and I'm like, oh, can't wait to talk about it.
Whatever it takes to make us forget that George Clooney ever played Batman.
God,
I'm
man.
down for.
And didn't that Batman didn't that Batman have a thong or something like that too?
I don't know.
Man.
I wasn't looking that close.
No, because they showed it on the screen, and then he turns around, and I was just like, oh God, man, I'm done. No, I think it was that Batman and Robin movie.
The Buttshot gag.
It was a Batman and Robin.
Yeah, the Buttshot gag. Yeah,
exactly. Let's talk about that other Batman game that's coming out, the Gotham Knights, man.
Just about to.
That game looked amazing, and then they had, they had Robin, then they had Red Hood, Batgirl, Nightwing, the AKA Bat Family,
Oh yeah.
That was amazing. And then at the very end, they have the Court of Owls, So I was like, wow, this game is gonna be epic. That's a game that I would consider playing myself,
It makes me wonder if this one is very much like a co-op, beat 'em up style.
It looked
type
like
thing,
that because they had split screen.
Ninja Turtles, Scott Pilgrim, yeah. So, I mean, you throw in if you're able to do online 4 people co-op,
that'd be amazing.
That's the thing missing from like Streets of Rage 4 online co-op with 4 people. So, if you're able to do that, that'd be
not
awesome.
only that, but the teaming up to beat the boss. That's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
You have to work together. You can't just do it all on your own.
Oh yeah.
So.
I really hope so. And there was a line from one of the producers, I guess, that he had stated something very similar, that this was going to be a multiplayer co-op type game. I'm hoping I didn't hear him wrong or mishear exactly what he said, but I believe that's what it's absolutely going to be. And kudos to a developer who actually thinks about the focus of their game. When you have so many epic, perfect Batman games and you're trying to come up with something new and refreshing, what do? You take Batman out of the equation. That's what you do. And you're able to explore this entire new world. And I don't think anybody's disappointed by not having a Batman in this game, because you've had so many perfect games in the past. You're not going to get that much better than what you've already done. So to explore it this way by hopefully making it a multiplayer co-op type game, and these characters that fans love just as much in some cases, it's phenomenal. The gameplay looked incredible.
Oh, they even showed.
The
was
fighting,
it like 8 minutes?
Choreography looked
Wasn't
incredible.
it like 8 minutes, 7 minutes of actual gameplay?
It was a long time.
I was like, damn.
Oh,
the physics, the graphics, and everything. It looked great. I loved it, man.
Some of the special finishers looked really cool too. Looked like they're incorporating some finishing moves when you're dealing with big bads.
Yeah.
I saw some elements where they're like blowing up a radius around them when they were going up against Mr. Freeze.
He shows you too. It was like on screen. He shows you the radius of what's going to happen when he comes down. You kind of have to get out of the way because then these spikes of ice come out of the ground. So I was like, okay, I like that, because you're not just flying blind and dying a million times. I mean, you probably still will, but at least you kind of get a gist of what to do.
Yeah.
Make it keep it open world, or make it an open world. Do something like I don't know, GTA 5, where you're going around the streets of Gotham, stopping crime and keep a storyline going along the entire time. I think it would be absolutely incredible. I cannot wait. Yeah, Gotham Knights trailer was epic, gameplay was epic. All the fans are talking about it. Everyone's excited, dude. This event, DC FanDome,
It was a
incredible.
fun-filled day. It wasn't even like you got bored watching DC FanDome. They had, even in between, me and Ted were talking about it, the little claymation that they had in between segments. That was funny, where they had the Joker and Batman and
Yeah,
Superman and Robin. I was like, man, this is pretty funny, dude. Ted was laughing. JC.
that was that's an old
Yeah.
bit that they used to have. Oh my god, I'm trying to remember what it was called. They had like a DC afternoon or a DC comics on Cartoon Network, maybe.
A long time
And
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they had a name where you would have like two or three shows back to back. That was all DC, and in between you'd have these little claymation or short story animation videos, and the claymation ones were hilarious. I think you can actually find them on the DC Universe
Yeah.
app right now if you looked hard enough.
Oh.
But they're funny. They're pretty hysterical. And my daughter, who's about 14 months almost now, she was like laughing hysterically. Like she could get the jokes. She doesn't understand English whatsoever, but she was laughing hysterically because it's these voices with these ridiculous designs of these superheroes. So yeah, she loved it. I loved it. Just like Joe said, not a dull moment this entire
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
day.
forget
Even
about the
some of the other
Batman
panels
Beyond Batman. That was funny too.
beyond Batman. JC, did you catch that?
Didn't catch that. But when we get to Wonder Woman, we'll talk about what I've thought about that too. But I didn't see Batman Beyond.
That
So
was
it
funny.
was it was old man Bruce talking to Terry McGinnis. Mind you, they brought back Conroy, and I'm pretty sure they brought back the original voice actor for Terry McGinnis. I forget something Friedel, Will Friedel.
Freedom. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was Will voicing Terry because it sounded spot on. And Bruce is showing Terry a video of Batman 66, Adam West, Burt Ward, and they're trying to figure out what the hell they're looking at. And Terry's cracking jokes.
Yeah.
Bruce is like, "Get a hold of yourself! Like, this is serious. Oh my god, what are they doing now?" They were laughing at Cesar Romero's mustache under the white face paint. I'm
Yeah.
just like, what is this? But somewhere somebody was smoking and thought like, hey, this would be a great idea for a bit. And it totally worked. I was dying laughing
Didn't
at
they
that
have that
moment. You
one
need to
part
check it out.
where they had Robin getting eaten by that clam? They were showing like excerpts from the old show, and they're like against the wall. He's like, "I can't move," and the clam's moving ever so slowly, and it finally engulfs
Oh
Robin, and
yeah.
they're all there watching him get eaten. That's pretty
And they
funny,
were
dude.
and they were like, it's paper mache. What are you worried about? And it was hysterical. So good. Not a dull moment, man. They kept the entertainment value up throughout this entire day. I can't believe it happened. It's still like if somehow DC had all the right ideas at the right time. Even the
Yeah.
idea to split FanDome into two events where all the major panels would be today and then all of the other lesser known, lesser popular TV shows, all the other panels was going to be in September. And that just made everything better because every single fan got to enjoy just these panels and these presentations today. And then we can still enjoy all the other ones where we can actually pick and choose what we want to see later on. Brilliant. Brilliant. Whoever's making all the decisions, Jim Lee, Walter Hamada, who knows? But incredible.
Yeah, and I just
Let's
gotta
talk
say,
about
I want to just say that I think DC fandom did an amazing job, as well, just from a technical standpoint. Just all the
yes.
tech and stuff that they needed to push out there to deliver this type of event. It was amazing. It was just like you felt like you were at a little convention almost. There taking everything in, and you had the best seats in the house. And it wasn't dull. It was fun. The graphics and the way they just had their live stream done. It was beautiful. And I for one appreciated, them putting forth this huge effort and undertaking for the fans. So hats off to you, DC. Great job.
There you go. Let's talk about Wonder Woman. JC, you want to take it away?
Yeah, I will say this: seeing the excitement on my wife and my daughter's faces watching that trailer was pretty awesome. Especially my 6-year-old daughter, who, when the first Wonder Woman movie came out, was too young to see it in theaters. But this one, I think she's pretty excited to see. Um, I think what really stood out to me on the panel was Linda Carter coming in for a little guest appearance
Yeah.
and telling and basically passing the torch to Gal, saying, my daughter didn't fully understand what I did until she saw the movie you made. And I think that's the point where it's like, okay, this is all you, Gal. You've got this. She's Wonder Woman from now on. And I think that really said a lot for Gal. And I think she took that a little emotional hearing that. But it's pretty awesome when Wonder Woman tells you you're doing a great job as Wonder Woman.
And not only
Yeah.
That's
that,
pretty
but the
cool.
energy that Linda brought, everybody immediately gravitated towards her because she was just so damn adorable, man. She came out and she just
Oh yeah,
was doing her little X like with the bracelets and stuff, and she
yeah.
was just full of energy. She still looks great too. I mean, she's doing her thing.
Oh
So
yeah.
it was just a ball of energy, a lot of fun, to see her out there as part of the panel. It was that nostalgia factor, and everybody greatly appreciated her.
Yep.
There you go. Cannot wait to see more from it. Or actually, I think we're done now. We've
We're
seen
good.
enough.
We got a great trailer. Some
Yeah.
funny moments. Uh, Cheetah looks pretty crazy. It's gonna be fun. So
Kudos to the writing team. I don't know if Patty is a part of the writing team or not, but you're sticking with what worked the first time around. The formula is intact, but you're just reversing the roles, if you will. Diana was the fish out of water. She was in this new place, meeting actual people from Earth, um, or not Earth, but just reading normal people going that were a part of this conflict, this world war, if you will. And now the roles are reversed, where Diana is living her life. She's in the 80s, and you get Chris Pine's character, Scott Trevor.
yeah, Trevor,
All right, that sounded wrong to me for a second.
Steve Trevor.
Steve Trevor.
There you
That's
go.
why. That's why.
Yeah.
Steve Trevor is now that fish out of water, so the roles are reversed here. But it's same formula. But I'm all for it because it worked so well the first time, and just Chris Pine being funny and sarcastic is enough for me to enjoy this film. I could watch that guy just talk about anything. I don't know what it is, but he's just so good at it. So when he's talking about parachute pads, what? Everybody's parachuting now?
Don't forget the fanny pack, man. The fanny
The
pack.
The
fanny
fanny
pack.
pack. I think I'm good. And then he pulls the fanny pack. It's like, no, no,
Oh
no, no.
man.
That fanny pack was
It's
fire, dude.
even the confidence he has in flying a plane again. Like, oh, you forgot about radar. There's a thing called radar now. It's like, oh yeah, you forgot. You didn't have to worry about that back in the 1900s, early 1900s. So
and that's gonna be the running gag the entire
yeah,
time. She's gonna forget to tell him about a number of things. I mean,
yeah,
and it's just gonna be a ball of fun. So
Electricity.
yeah.
uh, outside of the action sequences and all of that, it's just gonna be an entertaining as
Yeah.
hell film because they make a great pair. They're a great duo, and Chris Pine is one hell of a funny guy. So I can't wait. We finally got that cheetah reveal. Joe and I talked about it earlier in
Yeah.
our stream, and I think the cheetah uh, outfit or the design, I think it's spot on. Kudos to Patty Jenkins for sticking to her guns and making sure that she put forth the best product, giving the fans an actual cheetah, not just somebody in a leopard skin tights, I guess, if you will.
Yeah.
A lot of fans were thinking that's where they were going to go, and no, it's not at all. They made the right decision. DC is making a lot of right decisions these days, and it's showing. It's showing big time.
Yep.
This entire event, absolutely fantastic. Not trying to dog on any other virtual event this year, but other events like San Diego Comic-Con really fell flat. One aspect of it was you lost all of that fan interaction. Um, Obvious reasons why they lost that fan interaction, but even DC figured out a way to bring that fan interaction back. They had fans record their questions via
And
video,
not only that, they had
Yeah.
art. They had art. They had them in cosplay. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of that footage I remember from previous years, but it's all good. The fact that they did it is still
Yeah.
huge. And like Joe said, the graphics were the biggest thing
Yeah.
that stood out to me. It wasn't just a couple of side by side videos of people talking, kind of like our video
It
is
was
now.
immersive.
But they
Yeah.
it was immersive, and they had these huge virtual sets that they were
Yeah.
standing in, talking in. Even the video panels would be up against like a digital wall inside of a dome,
Yeah.
and those little details make a world of difference. SDCC was so flat because all of their panels was just two-dimensional people talking to each other like this, and they figured out to do it this way, which is so successful. If DC decided to do this virtually every year, it'd be a hit every single time.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for something more in person next year, but if they don't, it's quite all right. Not going to be mad at him for
I
it.
want to be able to
Maybe
walk
not as
around in
much in
that
person,
virtual
but yeah.
set.
So
Like, you know, like can I move my keyboard and my mouse and go forward and backwards and look around like if I'm
give me
looking
a
at the
360
screen?
camera kind of
Yeah,
thing.
dude.
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine?
It's true.
You can make your own little
Yeah.
avatar, you know, out of you know, the DC universe's superheroes and supervillains. You can slap something together, name it. You go walking through this virtual environment, and you can kind of look around and see the panel there and see everything happening in front of you from the comfort of your
Yeah.
PC or your phone. That would be amazing, you know. I could get to go shopping
Oh
in the virtual
yeah.
shop and actually pick up the shirts and turn them around, look at all the merch, you know. I'd be like,
Oh
damn.
yeah.
Yeah.
They could charge for something
That
like.
sh- that should be the next thing. Ooh, the virtual reality experience.
Yeah,
Yeah, I totally pay
I
for
dig
that.
that. Could you imagine? It's like you can have conversations, virtual conversations, with other people that are at that same, you know, event that you are, but not there.
There you
You
go.
can say, "Hey, I like your costume," or "Hey, you know," you could take a virtual picture, you know, or something like that. It'd be a lot of fun, almost like if you were at an actual convention, you know.
Hmm.
I'm totally down, sir.
Just an idea.
Oh man, it's crazy to think how far DC has come in just what, a few short couple of years.
Yeah.
Really, I don't remember when they announced that the Snyder Cut was going to be a real thing, but it's
A few
just,
months ago. Yeah.
well, I feel like yeah, I guess you're right. They did announce it this year.
Yeah. Earlier
But
this year, we finally got something official.
there you go.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
But a few short years ago, it seemed like DC was doing nothing right to some people, not all people, not me. But to
Yeah.
some people, DC was doing nothing right. And now, today, I mean, how many great, epic things can you talk about? How many projects are people buzzing about? It's fantastic. And there was something absolutely for everybody. So it's exciting. It's an exciting time, not just to be a geek, but to be a DC fan. And these projects just seem like they're all going to be home runs, which is incredible. If you have 4 or 5 projects that are home runs back to back, nothing against Marvel or Star Wars, but none of them have had something like that back to back to back to back. You still have your epic movies. You still have your End Games, your Infinity Wars, your Civil Wars, your Winter Soldiers, but not all of them have been absolutely perfect. If DC can kill it with these next 4 or 5 films in a row, I mean, what's to stop them at that point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah,
Can't
you're
wait.
moving too far to one side, Ted. I can't. You're coming out of shot. Only see half. I didn't even see your head in one thing when you were talking. I was like, "What happened with Ted? I lost his head."
My bad, sir. Getting too excited here. Well, that'll do it for our discussion on DC FanDome. Let us know what you thought about today's event. What was your favorite panel? What was your favorite
All of
trailer?
it.
What did you think about it?
Yes.
We want to hear from you. Message us on Facebook, or you can also reach us on the contact page of our website at www.countdowncitygeekcast.com. For the Geekcast, my name is Steady. With me on this DC FanDome recap is man, the myth, the legend, JC.
Thanks for listening. And also, if there's something that you thought would have been revealed but wasn't, let us know what that is. That would be something else to talk about too. So,
There is one panel that was to be announced that I think they decided to move out of today.
yeah, I
Nope.
think it was smart. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Let's see. Let's see what that might be. Maybe they're saving something really big for the September event.
yeah.
And we also got the latest, newest Geekcaster to join the group, Mr. Joe Garcia.
Yeah, so if you have any questions, concerns about this latest, DC fandom, go ahead and hit us up. Let us know what you like, didn't like, what you want to see in the next one. What are you excited about? We want to hear from you guys. So hit us up,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
And, like we always say, spread the love, stop the hate, be kind. I'm out. Peace.
Take it easy, folks. Rejoice. DC FanDome has come and gone. We can't wait for
All right.
more. Take
Bye,
it easy,
guys.
guys.
There.